welcome back. And thanks to all the newbies who stopped by to see what Dawn Dares to Dream is all about. Guess what, guys? This is part 3 of the Juneteenth series. And guess what we're making today? Oxtails, 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 oxtails. And I'll give you a little fun fact about me and oxtails. I didn't know what oxtails were. Back home in Baltimore, I had never heard of oxtails. We eat short ribs. I had never heard of oxtails. I moved to Texas and I see it on soul food menus. It took me so many years before I would even order them. But now I am in love with oxtails. So today, that's what I'm preparing for you. So we have our oxtails here. And we have a variety of sizes from really large to small. And we're also going to put in there green pepper, onion, garlic, onion powder, garlic powder, seasoned salt, bay leaves, and my famous better than bouillon. We're going to use this instead of using bouillon cubes. This is like a pre-made concentrated sauce of bouillon. It is the best ever. And we're going to add pepper as well. And we're actually going to use olive oil to brown the oxtails. So let's get started. So the first thing that we are going to do is get the pan heated with the olive oil so that we can put in our seasoned oxtails. So now I'm actually going to season the oxtails and coat them in flour before I put them in the pan that's heating up on the stove. So I'm going to transfer the meat to this cutting board. And remember, guys, we are going to sprinkle with seasoned salt. And I know you haven't seen me use seasoned salt, but I'm going to use it today. So we're going to do seasoned salt. We're going to do the onion powder and the garlic powder and the pepper. So let's get to shaking. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. And you know, I just realized that that's Casey and the Sunshine Band. I heard someone playing it. I was wondering where I heard that song from. But we want to do a generous coating of the seasoning. And I usually use regular salt. I don't usually use seasoned salt. I do not prefer Lawry's. Lawry's to me is a little too salty. So I like seasonal or whatever I can find. And right now, because of the pandemic, I can only find the store brand seasoned salt. So I have Kroger seasoned salt here. And I like it. And we're going to add pepper. We want to season them up before we put them in the pan because we're doing layers of flavor. You know how I said we do layers of flavor with the yams, with the greens. In order to get your food tasting the way that you want it to taste, it has to have layers of the flavor. So I'm seasoning this and then I'm gonna add an onion, fresh garlic, and green pepper. Now when I do the onion and green pepper, I'm actually going to reserve some for later because you know how when you are cooking the onion and green pepper, it kind of shrivels up into nothingness and you don't even know it's in a dish. So what I'm gonna do is reserve some for later, just like I did with the ham hocks for the collard greens. Now I season both sides. You don't want to have a half seasoned oxtail. So I'm seasoning both sides. And now I'm gonna add the flour to this, and then the pan should be hot enough that I can put them in the pan. Just gonna shake some flour over these. So we just wanna coat them lightly. And the reason why we're adding the flour is because it's gonna help to thicken the gravy that is going to be made as a result of the oxtails cooking in the pan. I know how some people are like, where does the gravy come from? You gotta make it, people. If you don't add flour, all you're gonna have is like a watery type au jus sort of sauce. And you want to have, this is about 4 pounds of oxtails, I believe, or 3.5, something like that. And you need to have a large pan. I'm gonna show you, this pan I have is extremely large. The end's non-stick. I used to have a stainless steel pan, and those are better for browning meat. The goal here is I want to get these oxtails looking nice golden brown before I add the liquid to begin to stew them in. So I think we're looking good. I'm gonna get these in the pan. So the pan is nice and hot. So we're going to add in the, well, maybe it's not nice and hot. Now that the pan is hot, we're gonna add in the oxtails. And you have to remember that we are going to brown the oxtails on all sides. Now, while the oxtails are in the pan browning, we are going to chop up our vegetables. Now, the vegetables today are going to be very simple. We just have green pepper and we have onion. So I'm going to start out with my onion first. And as usual, I do have a special topic today. My topic is the benefits of personal development. A lot of people don't really understand what personal development is and how it can help you progress in your life. Personal development isn't always about getting over family issues or breaking generational curses. It's also about understanding how to deal with people on your job. Understanding that everybody comes from a different environment. How do we come together and work as a team to accomplish a goal at work? Personal development has really helped me throughout my career. Now, for example, I didn't always work in corporate America. I waited tables for about 10 years. And in the industry of serving others, you have to understand that everything isn't personal. I shouldn't take the disagreement that I have with my table personal, or the fact that they don't like the food personal. You have to have a thick skin and understand everything isn't about you. And with personal development, that is something that you realize and that you're taught. Because as you understand who you are and where you've come from, you begin to realize that everybody's issue that you thought was about you really isn't about you. It's about them. So I'm going to chop up half of the fresh veggies and put them in the pan. And then half are going to be reserved for later. And the reason why I do that is I want the onion and the green pepper to be consumed in the dish. And I want you to know you're eating it versus just understanding a hint of it is there. And the only way that we can accomplish that is not to put all the onion and green pepper into the pot at the same time. So this is how I typically cut up, and I'm going to reserve this little thing for my guinea pig. So why waste it when I know he'll eat it? He loves green peppers. But when you're personally developed, you realize the world doesn't evolve around you, and everybody's issue isn't about you. Sometimes it is, but most times it's not. Lots of times we think that because someone didn't call us or because they didn't speak to us in the hallway at work, that they don't like us. But lots of times it's really just they had something on their mind, something else that they were thinking about. It wasn't that they were trying to be disrespectful to you or trying to be rude. They just really had something else that they had on their mind. But I will say, when you go through personal development, and what I mean by go through personal development is either you get counseling, or you are part of an organization that has personal development, or you go to a church that offers a lot of personal development. And what I mean by offer, a lot of the sermons and the Bible studies and the get-togethers are about personally developing their congregation. So those are wonderful churches. I like those the best. So I'm going to just cut half of this one. And I'm going to do like that, and then I'm going to reserve the rest for later. Now, all of this is going to go in the pot after I brown the actual oxtails. So I want to talk about personal development today because it can be expensive to get personal development. If you don't have insurance, it can cost you a pretty penny for personal development. Going to counseling is a part of personal development. Going to church lots of times offers personal development. And if you've ever been in a network marketing company, you know that they have a personal development piece to it. You have to be a well-rounded, personally developed individual to deal with all the rejection that comes with network marketing. So network marketing, within the program, they always have personal development. And to be honest with you, I have been in 2 network marketing companies. I'm on my 2nd right now. And the one thing that I like the most about being in them is the personal development. I get to see myself from a different vantage point, personally and in business, because network marketing is about talking to your family and friends, which is your network, and then it's a business. So you get personally developed, from 2 different sides. And I really enjoy that. And I have grown as a result of being in network marketing companies. And what I like to tell people is, even if you join a network marketing company and you don't make any money at all, the amount of money that you pay to be in that company is a lot less than it would cost you to see like a Tony Robbins and go to his seminars and pay for all of that. You're getting a tremendous break. So you haven't lost anything. What you've gained is some understanding about how to deal with people and how to function in this world. Now, I went over there and I turned the oxtails because the goal is to brown them on all sides. So I flipped them over, so now we're browning on the 2nd side. And I'm going to go ahead and get this garlic chopped up. But I wanted to continue to talk about personal development. Now, I had no idea what personal development was growing up. And to be honest, I wasn't very personally developed. I grew up and I had a lot of anger inside. And I had a lot of issues with people in school. And then I grew up and I realized that functioning from a place of anger isn't going to get me anywhere. But where I was trying to go, I didn't know. Now, I told you my Aunt Rose introduced me to the law of attraction. And that introduction is personal development. Because in order to activate the law of attraction, you have to be personally developed. A lot of things aren't going to manifest for you or come to pass if you aren't personally developed. Because a personally developed person forgives people who have hurt them. And this is something in the Bible. It says, forgive your debtors. Now, that's in the Lord's Prayer, correct? But I feel like a lot of us have a major issue with forgiveness. And forgiveness is the key to a lot of prosperity and abundance. Forgiveness is the key to living a life that you want to live. Letting go of past pain and hurt and trauma is extremely important in manifesting the life of your dreams. And isn't that what it's all about? We want to live our best life. We want to live our best life and help others to do the same. We want to motivate others to do the same. We want to have other people on that road to living their best life with us, our friends and our family. But the only way that we can get people on board on our train, I like to say, is if we are personally developed ourselves. Because I continue to say, hurt people hurt people. So most people that we're going to come across are not personally developed. But if you are, you understand that what is happening and what they're doing is not personal to you. It's because of the pain and trauma that they're harboring inside that they can't see past it to interact with you in an appropriate manner. That's what personal development does for you. It allows you to understand when you need to set a boundary for someone who isn't personally developed enough to really be welcomed in your entire life. It helps you to understand when you need to forgive and let someone back, or forgive and let them go. I just learned a lot about myself and about other people through my personal development journey. I used to think that everything was about me and everything that someone did was about me. It's not, people. Most people have issues with themselves and they're battling and dealing with things within themselves, and then they project those issues onto you. But it's not about you. It's about them. But the more personally developed you are, you recognize those cues and you go, oh, okay, it's not a good time to talk right now. Yeah, we can talk another time. I call you back. Instead of getting offended at every turn. I have browned the oxtails on all sides, so I'm going to bring you a little closer so you can see what that looks like. Now that I've browned them on all sides, I'm going to add in the onions and green peppers. And remember, I didn't add in all. I added in 1½ green pepper and 1 onion. I reserved 1 onion and 1½ green peppers for later. Now I'm going to add in enough water to cover the oxtails. So now I'm going to actually add in 2 tablespoons of the better than bouillon. Now I'm using the beef one, but you can use chicken. You don't have to buy the beef. If all you have is chicken bouillon, you can use that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bouillon in. See how that looks? Just so you understand, it's very different than using the bouillon cubes. It's like concentrated flavor. I love better than bouillon. So I'm going to add 2 of those. And we're also going to add in the bay leaf. So I'm going to add in 2 bay leaves. And we're going to cover. Now what's going to happen, this is going to come up to a boil, and the water is going to boil down to a concentrate. And I'm going to continue to add additional water, no seasoning or anything, but additional water until the oxtails are fork tender. Hey dreamers, guess what? The oxtails are all done. Take a look at those. You like what you see? Yes. And what I need you to know is outside of the flour that I put on the oxtails when I was browning them, I didn't add anything extra. It's like it cooks down over time. The water that I initially put in, and it becomes more concentrated, and with the little bit of flour that was there, it creates a gravy-like texture for the oxtails. And I tell you, these bad boys are so tender. And I did want to kind of explain a little bit more about the oxtail. The oxtail is more of a Caribbean thing, not necessarily American. Even here in America, the oxtail was something that initially wasn't sold. It was considered scrap meat and given away. And how ironic it is, after Caribbeans and African Americans make it such a tasty dish, oxtails are a very expensive piece of beef nowadays. Well, with that being said, I enjoy my oxtails. I didn't know about oxtails, so I moved here to Texas, but I learned how to cook them. And to be honest with you, I just braised them the way that I would braise my chicken on the stove. Because here in Texas, it's so humid that I don't really want to turn on my oven if I don't have to. So with the oxtails and with my braised chicken, I did that so I didn't have to heat up my whole apartment or home. And when I did the chicken and then I wanted to do oxtails, I said, maybe I'll just do them like I do the chicken. And it worked out. So I do it all on the stove. I have no idea what anyone else does. This is my original recipe that I'm sharing with you. I've never researched it or anything like that. So this recipe works for me. So I'd like for you guys to try it out and let me know what you think about it. But it's a very simple, easy way to do oxtails. The hardest part is being patient enough while they are cooking on top of the stove, not to just say they're done. Just be patient. I think they took about an hour and a half, to be honest, today on the stove. But I had some really large portions, as you can see. So I can bet that's why it took so long. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Remember to share this on your social media to your family and friends. Maybe someone's interested in learning how to make oxtails. Maybe they never really heard of them like me, but they're a very good, tasty piece of meat because they are surrounded with fat. And you don't want to have too much fat on your oxtails, but that fat is what makes them really good. And last but not least, remember to comment. Let me know how it went when you made them or how you liked the video that you just saw. And also, remember to subscribe. My face is going to be up here in a circle, somewhere up here in a circle. I want you to click on that, select the bell, select all, and that way you'll get notified from all the videos that I'm going to bring to you. So thanks for joining me today. Have a great day, dreamers.